Okay, hi everybody. I'm at my latest rehab. I just finished it. We just took the MLS pictures yesterday and it should hit the market in the next few days. So what I want to do is go through this house as quick as possible. I got a million things in my head that I want to tell you, so I'm going to try not to talk so fast where I mess things up. But anyway, so I did this buy appointment. I knew I wanted to make 40 when I went out to the car to run my numbers. Made an offer at 111. He accepted. We closed it roughly, I think my total expenses were roughly around 114.5. So I want to point out some things that I looked at and some things we did throughout the rehab that maybe help you if you would decide to do a rehab or maybe on your appointment. So anyway, when you go out to a house to do your evaluation and you're getting to part that you're doing your repairs, when you look at your roof, if you can imagine like 10 by 10 sections, which is called in roofing terms a square, which would be 100 square feet. So this is a very simple roof. So if you can you're trying to do your roof evaluation, does it need to be replaced? I just think it's safe, in my opinion. If you got, most of the houses we look at are 1,000 to 1,300 square feet, $5,000 for a roof, even though you could probably get it done cheaper. But basically, if you could do 10 by 10 squares and kind of imagine how many squares it is, as you're riding around, you might see a roofer truck, write their number down. You might ride around, see roofing signs in the ground, $100 per square. But I would say if you can get anywhere from $100 to $200 per square, that's a good roof price. But you know, there might be different cuts and gables and stuff that would jack the price up. But basically, I just say $5,000 for a roof, and if it comes in cheaper, it's more money in my pocket. On this particular house, I had some issues with the windows, so I had that in my budget because they were the seal had broken. There was a bunch of mildew inside, so I had that in my expense. I was thinking about wrapping it with siding, even though it looks really, really nice. It was an ugly, kind of ugly old gray before. But what I had done is I went and just got through Portsmouth Lumber. I found the siding and I went and bought the sheets and replaced the damaged sheets. They were $35 for the sheets, so I would save a lot of money versus wrapping it. I was getting quotes from $5,000 to $7,000 to wrap this house. So I just got 4 or 5 sheets, a little bit over $100. We pulled off the old ones, put the new ones on, and we painted it. I think this was a 1,300 square foot house, and I think I painted it roughly for about $1,200, and the cost of the paint. When you see a backyard as far as landscaping, don't just disregard it, because there could be expense. This backyard was completely jacked up. There was no grass. Hilly, like rocks all over the place, koi pond, a giant hot tub right here on top of an old wooden deck. So we basically had to demo the backyard. I was getting quotes from people, landscaping people, that they wanted to rent or if they had a bobcat, to come in here and just take off a top layer, bring in dirt, resod it. I mean, I was looking probably at $5,000. I was not going to spend that much. So what we did, we're trying to think outside the box, is we just went to Home Depot, bought about 40 bags of dirt, and just got our landscaper to fill in the holes, level it out. We went and spent $85 for a bag of grass seed. I don't know if you can see it, but this was no grass back here. Within almost 2 weeks, watered every day. All the new grass seed came in, and now it looks great. A nice little touch here at Home Depot or Lowe's, $1.99 for a fire pit. So here was a concrete, ugly slab that was all cracked up. Also, the landscapers wanted to remove the concrete. Well, we said no. So what I did, I started looking for paver guys. Don't pay $18 a square for pavers. The one I found was about $10 per square for the laid paver. So basically, we just laid pavers throughout the backyard to give it a nice. So now you can come back here with your cookout, your chairs. We created some nice, pretty walkways. So don't discount any expense in the backyard, because you could be looking at unexpected expense. So we're going to go inside, and again, I'm going to try to talk as fast as I can because I don't want this video to be that long. I just want to kind of show you some of the things we did and things we were looking at, and then some of the expenses of what it actually really cost. And let's just start at the beginning. Okay, so here's the inside of our house. Let's just start at the beginning. Flooring. So when you're deciding, you're looking at your house, know your square footage. I just like to say $3 per square foot. The reason why, if you're doing porcelain tile, some type of ceramic tile, or laminate, it's going to be $325 to $375 per square foot. That includes the materials and the install and to remove whatever the existing floor was. That's all included in the price. And the reason I say $3 is because, you know, usually the bedrooms have carpet. I have 3 bedrooms here. Carpet is $1.75 per square foot, and that includes the removal of the old carpet. So I just narrow it roughly down the middle. If it's a 1,000 square foot house, I know right away I'm gonna be around $3,000 in flooring. If the house has a chimney, I highly recommend that you, before you buy it, just get a chimney guy to come out and clean it and inspect it. I think it's a $175 to get them to clean it, but what you don't want is to buy something and you got a major fireplace problem that you weren't aware of, and then when you go to sell it and have an inspection and it turns up it's a $5,000 to $6,000 expense. A lot of these houses in Green Run in this area have these fabricated fireplaces, and if they need to be replaced, it's going to be mighty expensive. You got to rip off the siding, so you don't want that. So when you buy a house, you know, I'm going to recommend you get a termite moisture inspection before you buy it. You know, if you're serious about doing a rehab, I'm talking about doing a rehab, it's worth the money because you want to know about this stuff. So do your termite moisture inspection, get your chimney cleaned, and do a home inspection because you don't want anything unexpected to just dip into your profit. So anyway, so here we did a luxury vinyl tile flooring. It's not the typical laminate, it's a new product, it's stronger, more durable, looks great, and it's water resistant. And you could actually put it in the bathrooms, which we did. So you're evaluating a house. You know, here, there was no lights, no ceiling fans, so we had our, you know, my budget, I knew I wanted to do can lighting, ceiling fan, you know, there was an old light here, can lighting, you know, there was I can't remember if there was a light here, but we had our electrician come out here and give us a quote, and we also did can lighting in the master bedroom to give it a good look. So typically on a 1,000 to 1,300 square foot house, you know, if you're doing your prices, remember somebody's got to get up there and run all these wires, or somebody's got to install them, so don't forget about doing your electrician expense. In this particular house, my electrician bill, because the attic up here was really, really tight, and it took them 3 or 4 days to get it, so, you know, I had almost a $3,000 electrician bill. And when you do your plumbing pricing, here I had to move the, inside one of the closets was the water heater, which who wants a water heater in the closet? So we moved it right up into the attic. So my plumber hooks up my dishwasher. He hooks up my faucets, my new fixtures. My plumber will hook up my 2 toilets, my faucets in here, and my plumbing expense on this one was right around, I think around $1,200 in labor. So, kitchen. You're evaluating a house. Most kitchens in this area that we look at, let me say most of them, are like 10 by 10, 10 by 13. So I say you're probably safe to say about $5,000 to do your kitchen. The company we use, so if you're doing a rehab and you bought the house, you get your container out, you start doing your demo to get demo out all the house, everything you need to demo. Once you get it demoed, call your cabinet company. I can give you a referral if you like. The one I use will come out and measure the cabinets, measure where all the granite's going, and they'll actually design it for you. Then you go up to their shop, look at the design, and sign off on it. And then while you're there, they have 4 packages of cabinets, and these are the nice cabinets too, not the little cheap ones from Home Depot. They all have the nice soft close. Buyers eat them up and love them. And so the cabinet people come out and install your cabinets. They'll come back out a few days later to double check the measurements on the granite. And then within about a week or so, they'll come out and install your granite. Included in the price is also the sink. So I told you this was $5,000. I like our cabinet people to do our bathrooms too, the same company. I like to add the extra touch. Instead of just using some type of Formica, I like go ahead and putting granite in the bathrooms and the same soft closed cabinets. It looks good, the buyers eat it up, and it's gonna help me get the price I really wanna get. So that was one bath. Here's my master bath. Same thing, I just went ahead and did a double vanity granite, 2 bowls included in the price. You know, so think about it. Granite is really, you know, depends on the price, but it could be $28, $30 you get on sale per square foot. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, about 6 to 8 square feet times 30. I think it's worth it. Get the nice cabinets. So when you're doing your rehabs too, you know, don't forget about looking at your doors. Here, the old doors really weren't that bad, but they didn't have any personality. So we did go ahead and put the pretty doors on. That was a $1,000 expense. And when you do your fixtures, you can either pick, a lot of people pick the nickel, which really looks good, but it's really in every rehab. I like doing the aged bronze look because of, you know, when you see it from against the white paint, it just sticks out and bangs. It looks like, wow, these finishes are great. So anyway, you know, so when you go pick out your fixtures, Home Depot, $59.99, $59.99. I think she went to some sort of Hobby Lobby or something. $39.99, $39.99, $59.99. So I like these dual flush toilets, $125 from Home Depot, and my plumber installed it again. So bathrooms, you're looking at a bath. Most houses we look at always have the old tile. It's all jacked up. It's funky colors. The caulk's bad. There's cracks, holes, whatever. But don't just think, oh, I got to rip it all out. You can. It's going to be more expensive. Put a new tub in. So here, I got two guys. They come out and spray it epoxy. It is in mint condition. It looks so good in person. For $350, I sprayed all this. And now it looks brand new. So you could save yourself some money by doing that. I told you earlier that I had expense to change my windows. So if you're not aware of it, you can, mostly all windows, let me see if you can see it. I'm not sure if I got it right, but there's a serial numbers above these inside the windows casing somewhere. And if you get that serial number, and I knew that there's a sticker somewhere that said window roll did work. I called them, and the windows were less than 5 years old. So I was able to give them that serial number. Instead of replacing the windows, because it was this funky looking mold stuff inside the pane, so the seal had broken. For $75 per window, the ones that were messed up, that's all it cost me, and that included for them to come out and put the new ones in. So I was able to save myself some money there. So I'm sure I missed a couple things. If I think about it as I'm watching the video, I'll tell you once it's over. But rehabs are actually fun. If you get a rehab that you can do, I would recommend you do it. You learn so much. If you were just to hire a contractor, which I'm not saying not hire a contractor on this, I'm not saying that at all, but if you wanted to try one, do it. You learn about pricing. You learn what things really cost. So when you do your evaluation on a home, you're so much better at it. And I also recommend just go to Home Depot, walk up and down aisles, see what things really cost. You'd be surprised to see some, you might think, oh, I thought this was way more than that. So walk down aisles, pay attention to the pricing. If you have any questions about doing rehab, you need a referral, I'll be glad to try to help you. Good luck on your rehabs or maybe in your first rehab.